All right, man. Power to the people. We back to do maintenance. Yeah. It's gonna feel like crack when it came in. Salute to everybody out there. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is France. Welcome to Let's Talk Battle Rap. Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast. The entire team. Salutes to everybody on the entire squad. We took a little bit of a hiatus this past week. We did not have any caffeine shows. We want to take a little bit of a break and unplug from the Matrix because September is going to have a little gauntlet first. You know, we got this RBE event this weekend, Queen of the Ring, High Stakes, Summer Madness. Then in September, it's another 4 weekends of events in a row. So we're kind of gearing up for this long gauntlet of being media. Plus, I got to add all the King of the Dot Sundays in between all that. They never stop every single week. So all these leagues are putting us to work, rightfully so. And I'm excited, man. It's a real excited time to be Battle Rap Media. But we will be back this Saturday evening to recap Lift the Soul Reloaded on caffeine after the event is over. And we don't know exactly what time yet, but on Saturday night we'll be doing a Twitter Spaces alongside with EFM, myself, Titus, Low, anybody else from the team that jumps on to pretty much talk about Civil War battles because all the battles drop on the app Saturday. So I know everybody's going to run to watch those battles. So we want to hear what the people think about those battles. I didn't get a chance to necessarily do a in-the-building recap. So this won't be necessarily a recap, but more of a narrative report, right? I want to talk about what I think the narrative was after all these battles happened. For me being in the building, watching it one time. And I want to see if these narratives hold up when the battles drop, if people agree with them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody always uses the word narrative in battle rap and thinks it's something negative. It doesn't necessarily have to always be negative, right? And in my opinion, I think the way the word narrative is dictated in battle rap between fans, media, rappers themselves. I think they kind of use the word narrative to describe like a perspective for a premeditated result that hasn't happened yet, right? And so I'm not necessarily going to create obstacles or objects to enhance a potential result. Rather, I'm going to create some dialogue from what I think or my evaluation from watching these battlers live one time. And salute to URL for Civil War weekend. I think they won 8 out of 9. Great battles all weekend long. Friday night, they kicked it off with Emerson Kennedy and First Lady Flamez. And I think when it drops on the app, it might go to EK. You know, I also want to do some app predictions before these battles drop on the app. I think it might go to EK. However, I want to say this. First Lady Flame's app record does not reflect on her talents or her output or her value as an MC. Because there's two kinds of battle rap fans, right? There's two kinds of fans. There's the purists that want you to win battles, that care about winning battles. And then there's the ones that want to be entertained and look for replay value and enjoy the content as such. And truth of the matter is, like, First Lady Flames, her and Vixen 2020, the best female battle. Her and E Hart might be the best battle so far at 2021. This is somebody that's going to consistently give you top battle of the year quality material or performances, and I think she can do this for another 2-4 years. Like, I think she has a solid window of constantly giving you a battle of the year contender or being on top battle of the year list. And I think that's tremendous because not only does that create replay value for yourself, you're also in competitive battles. You're in battles where the dialogue exists. You're always giving 110%. Her pen is fire. Emerson Kennedy showed his pen can be fire when he's not consistently battling. He's not a high-volume battle rapper. So this battle was a complete treat. Everybody's going to love it when it drops. I put that on everything. I put that on the podcast. Y'all gonna really fuck with that battle once it drops. Then Coffee versus Lady Caution happened, and this was interesting, man, because Lady Caution been working hard all year round. This Coffee battle was her second battle in 2 weeks, and in 2 more weeks she's battling Yoshi. So that's 3 battles in 6 weeks. In the middle of her losing her father, again, prayers to her and her family. One of the hardest working ladies in the game. But we hadn't seen it yet on the highest platform or against some of the biggest names. So there was reservations like, can she adapt on a bigger stage? Can she adapt when the lights are bright? Can she adapt when there's somebody at a higher level on her face? And you've seen the predictions, you've seen the projections, you've seen the polls. We did a survey ourselves. People thought she was lose that battle clearly. It was like 85 to 15%. And I want to be the first one to say the outcome of that battle does not reflect on the projections at all. I think she completely showed she belongs. I think she completely shows that she can rock on everybody on URL. Her first round took a little bit of time to get there, a little slow cooking, right? A little slow flow, but she got comfortable and completely showed that she's ready for this level of competition. And as far as Coffee, she's polished, man. She another 3 rounds of her showing why she's one of the best females in the game right now. I personally feel like she obviously is a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more polished, a little cleaner in the setups, more concise to the point to her punches, and just a little bit more direct. Had a little more attributes, just somebody that's a little bit more seasoned on this platform than Caution was. But Caution did tremendous. She definitely showed she's ready for future endeavors to be presented to her on this league, and she's got Yoshi in 2 weeks. I hope she doesn't have any battle fatigue for her Caffeine debut, because her URL debut was pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Salute to her for that, and I'm looking forward to see what she does in 2 weeks. Then we hit Saturday. This is the main card. I walk into the building. Once I walk in, I come in right at the first round of Jey The NiteWing and Kid Chaos, so perfect timing on my end. I really enjoy that battle, man. I think App Gang is going to favor NiteWing, and I think they both silence the narrative that they can't perform on a big stage or they can't adapt to a big stage. Like, I think they definitely show that they're capable of doing so. And my favorite part is I don't feel like they really sacrifice too much of who they are to do so. Like, Kid Chaos didn't necessarily sacrifice his writing. He stood as layered as he normally is, maybe just a little bit quicker, concise to certain punchlines or haymakers, or in the setups was punching a bit more. Even if it got slept on, you're going to catch it on cam. And NiteWing, it's funny, right? Because they both kind of have this thing that counteracts each other. NiteWing has the presence, but Chaos has the performance. Because NiteWing will stay in one spot and just like move his arms up and down and take a step forward, take a step back, and like he's not even really performing. He's just in that one spot, but he has so much presence. His pen is so layered. He's giving you so many good lines that it just naturally just gravitated towards the crowd, and they enjoyed it, and they're patient with him. He's earned that cachet, you know what I'm saying? Kid Chaos, on the other hand, is a little bit more electric, a little bit more mobile, a little bit more vibrant than Jey The NiteWing. So this is a guy that's like moving all around the stage, making sure that every single line has a movement or an action attached to it that kind of has you mesmerized while you're like following the setup or to the haymaker. And I gotta say this, I say this all the time, like Kid Chaos is one of the most difficult people to quote in person, because all of his setups are unique to its punchline or its haymaker. However, when he delivers that haymaker alongside with the performance, it becomes unforgettable. Like, you can walk away from every single Kid Chaos battle and at least remember a bar that he had in the battle. And I think that's really unique, because when you'll see that, like his there and there bar, you'll be like, yo, this is completely translatable on the crowd. Like, why did we ever question that this guy could rock a stage? Like, these guys could definitely rock a stage. Is there room for improvement? Of course, definitely. But I'm not worried. They will continue to develop as time progresses. Then the next battle after that was Don and Ryda, and I gotta say, I think the App Gang will go for Ryda on this battle. But however, they're gonna enjoy the battle. I know a lot of people call this the smoke break battle, right? The bathroom break battle. It wasn't that at all. Truthfully, like, Don had one of the best first rounds that night, and Don showed that he studies what it takes to battle on the stage. Like, he had a lot of props, 4-bar setups, quick to his haymaker, didn't spend too much time on things, rebuttaled. He had an angle that made the crowd participate with it. And Ryda, he wasn't rattled. He stood composed and poised when Don was putting all the pressure on Ryda. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, I think Ryda wrote some of his best bars I've ever heard him say in that battle. I won't give it up. I'll let you guys hear it when it gets to it. But it's definitely a fun battle. I think afterwards we're going to start saying, yo, we need a campaign for Ryda on Caffeine. Like, I think that campaign gained some more stock, gained some more equity after this performance. And as far as Don Marino, you're going to say to yourself, well, even if I'm not a Don fan, he has moments where he's really good. And even if I don't feel like he could put it together for a full 3 rounds, he showcases to me why, like, yo, he has success on this league. He knows what to do. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Don Marino as well, and salute to Ryda. They both put on a fun battle. Then we had Jakkboy and Lu Castro. And I want to keep this one brief, man. Honestly, I don't even want to be critical on Jack because he went through almost everything in the world on that stage. You know, they put a bucket out, pour water in his head, and I know he probably would have loved to have been able to give more to that performance, but his health obviously kind of limited him on the stage. And for the fact that he was even able to get through all 3 rounds, he's a warrior. I salute him, and I'm proud of him for that. Real shit. And as for Lu Castro, man, people are gonna really be happy, I think, with all his little tricks, right? All his little slogans, because this guy has a whole bag of things he could get to. Like the Big Dog grabbed the whole reception from the crowd. They set it back with him. They roared. The crowd was loud, and he has all the little fickies that wow, strong and this and that, and he has so many little bags he can go into on the stage that'll compensate him to elevate his material or help him go through any moments he has dry spots. I do think, though, he's probably one of the guys that I would love to see make the most improvements in the near future if he battles on this kind of a stage or bigger, because I feel like a lot of his content isn't always potent, but luckily he's so electric, he delivers it very well and has performance attached to it, that a bar on paper that you may not like looks and sounds so much better, and it gravitates and resonates very well with a crowd. However, like, you know, Jakkboy didn't really put any pressure on him, so how would that look when somebody puts the pressure on Lu? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see what it's like when somebody puts a little bit of blood in his mouth, and he has to respond back to a very difficult round or a high bar set for him to succeed, because that's when you really tap into all of the intangible attributes that you have as a battle rapper. When I saw him at Gates of the Garden, he was rebuttaling. I want to see maybe if he takes some more rebuttals on the wrist. Maybe he takes that risk on the stage. Maybe he focuses and gets a little bit more punch heavy. There's a lot of things I think he can do better, and I'm pretty sure he will watch the game tapes to make the improvements. So salute to Lu Castro and Jakkboy. Then we had Real Sikh and Ave, man. Ooh, boy. That was a battle. I think out of all the battles that weekend, that'll probably be the one you might see that could crack a top 10 battle of the year list. There's still so much to go throughout the year. So if this doesn't make a list, it just shows you how good this year was. But this was just another day in the office for Ave, man. You know, Ave's been on No Summer Madness about 6 times combined each from both of them. He's seasoned. He's polished. This was easy work for him. This is another day in the office for Ave. He was clicking on all cylinders. The crowd loved him. He made it very difficult for Real Sikh every round. And I think Real Sikh responded very well every round. I do think the narrative going into this or going out of this once it drops, I think Real Sikh's streak might have ended. I think App Gang will definitely give the vote to Ave. I will say this, though, like, everybody had an individual test as far as proving they can rock the stage, and I think everybody passed that test. Then the next test of beating the opponent in front of them, it's a different case, right? Because NiteWing and Chaos, they're peers. Castro and Jack, they're peers. They're pretty much in the same lane. Ave and Sikh, like, you're getting a real vet here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is a major test. So I wouldn't expect Sikh to beat Ave on his first time battling in this magnitude of a stage. But he's real creative. You know, he always takes risk. The crowd loves him. He gets into so many pockets and flows that even when he has long buildups, they're rewarding towards the end. But I do think those long buildups are costly when you're battling somebody that's punching on every 2 and 4, or somebody that's just can get quicker to it than you can. He's a good angler, of course. He's a really high level angler, but Av is a guy that you need to have a very specific tailored angle for Av for it to be as effective. I don't know if his angle for Av was the most effective, but it was good. It was good. Real Sikh is somebody that studies his game tapes a lot as well, so I'm sure after this he's going to know what to do in this environment, how to improve, and I can't wait to watch it back just to get a little bit more intricate with the details of the adjustments these guys should make. From my first watch, all I thought to myself was Sikh was really good. Av was who we know him to be. Facts. Okay. I think I'm freezing up a little bit here. I think we're good. Okay, cool. All right, so then after Real Sikh and Ave, we had the 2-on-2. This 2-on-2 was it was crazy, man, because like hold on, man, I'm freezing. Break. All right, we good. We back. Ave and Sikh was the battle of the night up until the 2-on-2, and then Ace Swamp and Danny and Tink was like, all right, hold my beer, because we're about to show you we're about to be battle of the night. Their first round was incredible, immaculate, like almost so good that I wish the battle had just stopped after the first round. Like that's what I really wish. I would have been like, yo, can we just make this a 1-rounder? And because there's no way you guys can get back to this crescendo that you guys just hit. Like, y'all both had to have peaked this round, and unfortunately one team did. You know, I think Swamp and Ace did peak in the first round, so people will probably give Tink and Danny the last 2 rounds for sure. There was a 3-0 Chan to building, unwarranted, because I definitely think Ace and Swamp still probably got the first, and they were very, very explosive. They clicked on all cylinders. Every single line was hitting for those guys. So this goes to show you that everybody on that stage, they can adapt. They're good on the stage. They know what to do. Danny obviously has been on tons of stages like this. Tink before even pay-per-views and all that stuff, when he's battling on Born Legacies, like he was able to rock rooms this size for the most part. Ace just battled John earlier this year, so those reservations and questions have been answered. I think the only reservation you would walk away from is, can Swamp rock a crowd by himself at this magnitude? That's the one I'm a little bit like, have a little concerns. I'm not 100% sure if I see Swamp one-on-one in a venue of 700 people that I can trust him to give me a high-level performance. And Tink the Demon, man, he went into this battle as one of the air quote weakest links and pretty much walked away as the MVP of the 2-on-2. It's incredible. Salute to Tink the Demon, man. You know what I mean? Because he really put on, man. He had an emotional post-battle interview afterwards, giving Danny all the flowers in the world. I'm looking forward to see if Tink can translate any of this into his one-on-one battles. Him and Jey The NiteWing will probably go down sooner than we know. And the 2-on-2 is really good, man. Sometimes battles that you have the least expectations for will always end up being good because you don't really have expectations for it. Let's talk a little bit about Mike P and T-Top. Ooh, boy. Man, salute to Mike, man. I really think Mike had really good material. Like, I want to put this out there. Like, his first round was very good. Damn near almost stole that round, in my opinion. He thinks he wins it, and that's fair. I think he still did enough to at least make a conversation, but I thought T-Top won the first round regardless. And T-Top's second round was just unguardable. It's just like, it was unbeatable. There's nothing you were going to do to beat that round. Like, there's battling A-Verb in St. Louis. There's battling B-Dot on the roof, and now it's T-Top in Carolina. Like, these are battle rappers in certain demographics. If you battle them in this city, like, you're accepting the most difficult challenge possible. Obviously, when T-Top brought out Anderson Burris, and Burris had every single line land on Mike P, like, it was the moment of the night. It was definitely the loudest the room got, and I think it was a good reminder to let everybody know, like, T-Top is extremely valuable. Just like I said with First Lady Flamez earlier, that sometimes it's more important to be entertaining and have replay value in these battles. Like, that's what T-Top's been doing for the longest, and I feel like it's been underappreciated or not acknowledged to its magnitude, where it's like, all right, on paper, right, you look at his app battles before all this. He went on a 5-battle losing streak. Lost to Bill Collector, lost to B-Dot, Easy, Coffee, Jackboy, right? He lost all 5 of those battles on the app. See, but what the numbers and the votes don't let you know is that all those battles were arguably the best battle of that event or that night. So there's like battle of the night 4 or 5 times there, right? And he's standing in front of high-level performances from all those guys. That was a great Bill Collector. That's one of the best B-Dots to date. That's one of the best Easies to date. That's one of the best Coffees to date. That's one of the best Jackboys to date. So he's competitive. He is giving you high replay value, battle of the night, and now you put him back on the stage, he gives you moment of the night. There's another guy that's been on No Summer Madness 6 times. Like, he probably was the best battle rapper on this card. He knows what to do in this environment. So put some respect on T-Top's name. This is just another moment in his book where you could say 5 out of his last 6 battles he had battle or performance of the night, or at least one of the best moments. Like he's incredible. And salute to Mike P, because Mike P actually really did have good material. It was just there was nothing he could do to beat T-Top that night. But we will see Mike P a few more times. He did say, a report came out, Hip Hop Is Real, that he's battling 2-3 more times, and good. I hope so, because the last thing you want to do after losing like this is just sit down for a while, because that's when the shit kind of resonates the most. But if you go back out there, you get a chance to lick your wounds and get active again. It puts you in good rotation and keeps you in good conversations, and it gives you a chance to clean the stench off that last loss, man. That was bad. That was bad, man. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely up there with like maybe Jag and Will's Body of the Year. Or if we make a moment of the year list, is Anderson Burris is on that list for sure. So like T-Top walked away impacting this year on that stage. Facts. And also in New Jersey, Twork, man, the last battle of the night. I guess air quote the real main event. Hindsight is 2020, because some of the narratives going into the battle was like, 100% Twork wouldn't lose to 100% Loso, or Loso could only beat Twork if he chokes, or this and that. And I'm a little upset, because it feels like some of those things were kind of true, that like Twork at 100%, Loso at 100% can't beat Twork at 100%. I mean, look, we know this going into it. Twork has a higher ceiling than Loso, another guy that's been on Gnome and Summer Madness about 5-6 times a piece combined. So he has more experience. He has a higher ceiling. He's more explosive. He's a better performer, right? But what Loso has is he's a better angler and is a better strategist than Twork. So like you would think to yourself, okay, if I can't beat this guy off of like content, I can beat this guy by strategy. And I just don't think Loso made the in-game adjustments in that battle to fully put himself in a position to walk away with a debatable or a win. Everybody walked out that building feeling like Twork won that battle, the first 2 rounds, and Loso really fought. So I think there will be an audience of people that will say, yo, Loso got slept on in the building. His material was better than I gave it credit. I didn't like Twork's material as much. Maybe that can happen. That could definitely happen. But if I had to predict or put my money on it, like I think Twork wins on the app. Loso got the chess and Twork that don't mess up. So those are hard people to beat. So he shouldn't hang his head too high or too low on this. But when Twork's clicking on all cylinders, has more than one strapped in that's good, is rebuttaling, is counter-writing, so he's almost addressing the angles that Loso's going to use before Loso gets a chance to use it. Like, that's just a difficult opponent to beat. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminded me a little bit about the Twork and John battle, and it makes me wonder sometimes, like, how effective can angles be on Twork, because if you don't pick the right one, they're just going to bounce off of him because people love this guy so much. Twork came out and got a standing ovation once he walked onto the stage. Like, everybody went crazy. So all this stuff about, we don't want to see him eat chokes, this and that. Like, that's not true. That's not true. Fans love Twork, and the analytics love Twork too, because we collected the data. We're going to see the numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if Twork has the highest reaction gauged from this event. You know what I'm saying? Loso did win the 3rd round, though, and one of those 2 first rounds might be a little bit closer off of material, but it's just tough to see. Like, he obviously beat him by being more explosive, but also kind of outsmarting him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Loso doesn't rebuttal. Being humorous with Twork helps diffuse some of his seriousness or his haymakers, which he didn't necessarily implement. There's just a lot of things you'll see in the battle that I feel like you're gonna watch and say, damn, if he had done this right here, like, it would have made a bit of a difference on the optics. But I mean, that's pretty much it for the narrative report for Civil War. I'm looking forward to all these battles dropping. Hopefully, everything I said lives on when the battles drop. And if they don't, great. I'm looking forward to see what changes or what people kind of see differently from in the building and on camera. That's the beauty of when battles drop, like the energy and the presence versus the content You know what I'm saying? So we'll be back tomorrow. Of course, if you're watching this today, this is Friday. We'll be back tomorrow, Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening, to cover the RB events, like I mentioned earlier, and we're doing a Twitter space to talk about all the Civil War battles when they drop on the app. Salute to everybody rocking with Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast.